Hey everybody. So it's been a while since I've put out a video, I think about 3 months or so. And there's a lot of reasons for that pause overall, but the reason that I want to discuss overall on this channel today is the fact that I haven't known what exact direction I want to take the channel overall. For a while, I was kind of like starting to get unhappy with the format overall. Kind of, I felt it was starting to get kind of like repetitive, making videos every day, and then it seemed like to me it was getting more and more to the point where I was talking more and more about things that didn't interest me every day overall, and so. Within that, I kind of had a decision to make. Like, do I want to continue the channel overall? And so I decided to take a pause within that and figure that out. And up front, like, I don't make any money from the channel, and that's like a big decision that I've made, and I like held on to it, and I thought through during that pause, right? Like, do I like want to actually continue that, and then if I want to continue the channel, like, do I actually want to monetize it and make money from it and things like that? And so it took me a while to work through those things overall, and I just decided I still don't want to monetize the channel overall in any way. Like, I don't want to do any sort of like, I don't want to sell myself. That's the bottom line, right? Like, I don't know, like I've looked at like to me, just putting it flat out, like celebrities and things like that. Like, I'll name a few, right? Like Shaq and Kevin O'Leary are like the two big ones that stick out to me. And it's like every time I see them as a spokesperson, I just, my mentality, my thought is like, if you have so much money, like, why are you selling yourself, right? Like, and I don't know. Like, to me, there's a bright line within that, and that's a bright line that I never want to cross. I just, like, just me personally overall, I like that. And then so it's some additional money per month. It's not worth that over whatever it would be, right? It's just not worth it overall to me. And then so do I want to still continue this even despite that? Well, here we are. So the answer is yes, right? And then so but within that, I want to focus more on topics that I generally care about and want to talk about. And I'm going to make less videos. I'm 100% not going to be making videos every single day. But within this video and this particular topic, what I want to focus on is a topic that I've thought about and I've been talking about for a few years overall, but I'm starting to see it just now start to come to a head, which is the fact that, like, to me, software is dead. Like, that's the most simplistic way that I can put it. And to me, software has been dead for a couple of years. And like, it hit me the other day when I was thinking about it, and I was pondering this, and I realized literally every single person I know, like, I can't think of a single person that, like, they don't have some sort of product that they're currently building, right? And like that's like everywhere across the board, and like, that's good, and that's I think that's a unique thing that's driving our economy, despite like a lot of things that are dragging the economy down, etc. Like, I don't think there's any bad things within that, but except for the fact that I don't like being in the same areas where everyone is in. And I always try to look, okay, if everyone is here, where's the area where they're not yet, right? And then so I'm noticing everyone is in that area, and then so I don't want to be in that area. And it's just how I look at it overall. And then when I look at that more broadly, I see a few indicators for it. Like, the biggest one to me is Adobe. I've been watching Adobe for a few years overall, and their stock in the last, we're looking at like the last 6 months, right? The last 6 months, it's been kind of crazy. Like, if you look at the year, it's you can see it. It's really 6 months, the beginning of this year, right? Like, January 2026, the stock has just plummeted, and then the 5 year trend, you can see it's really like a more of a 2 year trend, a 2 year downward trend. ChatGPT came out around here, so you can't blame it fully on ChatGPT, right? Because the stock went up from ChatGPT's release, but then mid 2024 it just starts crashing overall, right? And the interesting thing within this, and why I cite Adobe and I look at Adobe within this, is like, during this whole period, like this 2 year period where this stock price has halved, literally, it, like, they're profitable, like, they're record profitable during this whole entire time, right? So the stock isn't crashing and going down, halving in 2 years, because of profitability, because of the current situation of Adobe. The current situation of Adobe is better than it's ever been in its history, but the stock continues to go down, which is people betting against Adobe. And then so what is Adobe? Everyone, Adobe's main products are centered around like photos and software suites around enabling the technology that AI is really heavily eating into, right? And then so we're seeing that reflected within this. And then the way that it's being eaten into right now is the way that everyone eats into these things, right? Which is just like products that are like overtaking it. And then so right now it's like Canva and things like that. But we're starting to see like a shift away, and the unique shift that I've been waiting for within this, which is the shift away from software entirely within that, right? And so it's no longer just Canva that Adobe is competing with, but they're competing with AI models, and then people utilizing AI, building their own AI, building their own software, and workflow apps, etc., and their own projects and platforms utilizing AI in ways that they couldn't do 2 years ago, which is reflected in this price here that we're looking at, and what's going on within that overall as a whole. But then so to me, kind of the bigger picture and the important aspect of this within that is that it's a kind of a bleak outlook overall for software when it comes to this, and when we look at that, it's not a necessarily a good forward trajectory. But again, going back to this aspect of the software aspect, right? To me, that's kind of the main aspect that I see within this. And then so to me, like where I start thinking of this and why I have this secondary tab open is, again, like talking about what I work on and do kind of in my day-to-day more than anything else. It's so in the last few days I've been like checking out different like marketing AI agents and experimenting with them and things like that, and I've been noticing some upfront flaws with these particular software programs, right? And this is like just the one that I'm highlighting instantly. Like it's the one that like is popular, so it's the one that I picked and used. And then I just went through and so like to me, it's like my like 2 sentences about this application overall. It's the same 2 sentences with a lot of applications, which is that like for the first 5 minutes of utilizing this, you think it's the greatest thing ever, right? Which is where you'd be willing to put out your credit card. But then after playing around with it for like 20 minutes, like it's very limited, and like it doesn't save me any time overall, right? Like, I mean, that's kind of the bottom line within it. Like this is like it's designed to get leads, and then that's what it's supposed to do overall, right? And I have it targeting in this instance law firms very specifically, and it hasn't given me a singular lead for a law firm, right? And like it literally hasn't done its job. Basically, it is what I'm experiencing within this. Again, like for the first 5 minutes, it was marvelous, right? Like this number was going up. Wow, it's finding leads. That's crazy. Like, oh, well, like that first batch of leads was bad. Let me, I have to wait another hour in order to run another batch. And then, oh, that second batch was actually also bad. So it's not doing what I need it to do after I even configure it and play around with it. And then so once I dive into it, then I realize the limitations of it, right? And then the limitations are I could build this out myself, number one. And then like number two is I think another aspect of this that I think people are really missing overall, right? Which is like, I don't like personally, like I don't want an AI agent to replace these things. As I go through this and as I'm setting up like this for marketing and sales, I realize 100% and instantaneously that it will be, at least for the like far foreseeable future, far easier and better to put a human in that role, like and have a human do this. Like I don't care or necessarily need an AI model to be in this particular function and role. And then so I don't know, to me it's kind of like a market disconnect within that, right? Because so to me as the consumer, this and what like instantly and these marketing platforms, etc., like what they're doing is like kind of the opposite of what I actually want as a human consumer when I dive into these things. And from that aspect, right? From the other aspect, from the builder aspect, it's like, well, like what's the most profitable industry and the most adjacent industry that AI could take over? So then they go for it immediately there. But without realizing, I don't know, those disconnects within these things, right? And to me, that's where we're at within this whole cycle overall. So AI has been, and will continue to be very disruptive and a disruptive force. And then so when you have a disruptive force in the market overall, that creates changes and ripples to like common rules that have been in place for a long time, and then some of them are no longer true, right? But then the kind of the key within that is trying to decipher where the disruptions are, because it's not uniform disruption and it's not across the board, and then how exactly do they change? And then so within that, and then within this, what to me the big patterns that we're seeing shake up is the death of software. and like I'm not the only one that has been preaching that and talking about it. And I kind of stopped talking about it for a long time, right? Because it's like why like talk about it over and over again until it actually happens? And then like I don't know, to me it's I think the second half of 2026, like coming into the end of this year, that will be like the big thematic thing that I think you'll start to see more and more people realize within this, right? And it's just, to me, it's the simple realization is just look around and how many people do you know that are building products or building apps that like based off of AI, right? And to me, it's everyone. And then within that, it's I think that the key unique areas and opportunities, like forward thinking, again, staying ahead of that, like where is it that I would go ahead of that? It's the service-based models, right? Like I think that in that instance, you're going to start to see more and more situations of just flat out giving away the software. Like I think that's going to be the the Linux approach, like the free to play model for video games. Like I think you're going to start to see people start cracking and diving into those business models very specifically on the enterprise side and like on the business side, because why not, right? And then like it's the same type of logic within that you'll have whales, that you'll have people that will need service, etc. Right? Like, I mean, Linux has been around for forever, based off of that exact model, right? Like they don't actually sell the software; they just service it. And in order to service it, you buy into the ecosystem, and then if you're bought into that ecosystem, then you eventually buy services, right? So you're buying something from it, but you're buying it ancillary from the product, like from the software. And I think like that's the big shift that you're going to see. I don't know, that's just my opinion within that, right? I think like instantly and Adobe, like companies like this, that like there's not necessarily like a future for these types of things overall, right? Like instantly is the example. If I wanted to build this, like with the limitations that I see within this platform, it's far more advantageous for me to build and hire an internal team and then build up a team around our own product, which is exactly the direction that we're taking and we're going to take instead of this overall, right? I think you're going to see more and more of that overall as we continue through, and I think again, like the second half of 2026 is just the start of that. So I think for the next like 2-3 years, that will be the cycle that we'll be in. Right now we're just at the very beginnings of it. You'll start to see more and more people realize that this is the case. I think you'll start to see like more and more like no products, no software, lots of messaging all around that, right? And then more and more people talking about the service element, fixing and actually having like knowledge, structure, frameworks in place, things like that. I think that those will come to the forefront, and you'll start to see less and less people reaching out for software overall. And then like again, they'll realize that it's not advantageous to outsource those things in the same way when it comes to AI as it is with traditional IT. And that's kind of the bottom line that drives that, right? To me, the bottom line is that like you want that knowledge to be internal as opposed to external, and that's a very specific distinction when it comes to AI versus IT. When it comes to IT, it's software driven, etc. Right, and so because of all of that, I know up front as someone that's managing that whole entire IT stack that I'm going to rip and replace the entire IT stack within 3 to 5 years, right? So like, why do I, if it's my IT stack is a Microsoft stack, like why do I need to have a whole internal team of Microsoft developers if I'm going to rip and replace it in 3 to 5 years, and then maybe we go with Google after that, and then I'll need Google engineers instead of Microsoft engineers, right? And then so it's all tied to the product and the software very specifically, and that's what people are used to, but that's the part of this that's breaking overall. And then that as that breaks, that impetus and the kind of scale tips the other way, right? Where like it's like I'm no longer ripping and replacing this every 3 to 5 years. This is a system that I could build out today that could be built out on over time and be improved, and it could be a 10-year system, and then so I want that knowledge internally, right? And then like it's again not software dependent, and then so like the internal knowledge is what's not replaceable within that. Like I can't just get rid of the team that built it and then get a new team that to understand a new what. Like it's, you know, like it's it inverts a lot of those equations in ways that I think companies, businesses, consumers, etc., are just now starting to understand. And then within that, it does put a lot of power into the individual and into the person when it comes to these things, right? I think that's kind of like the last aspect of this that I'll touch on within this that I've seen is like the last kind of like aspect that I've seen of this, we'll call it this phase transition, is kind of like that, like dying of that the like approach of people like trying to say that AI is going to wipe out everything. Like AI is not going to wipe out everything, every job, every industry, right? It will wipe out some, and it will disrupt a lot of industries. It will be selective within that disruption overall, but within that you'll still see the human element will become more and more prominent within it and more important within it. And it's just as you dive into these things, right? Like as I dive into this and looking at marketing AI agents and things like that, I realize that internally as a human, there's an aspect of this that like I don't actually want to fully give over to an AI agent. Like as a human, like I'm not a marketer, I'll never be a marketer, I state that all the time, right? But like there's still aspects of marketing that I like, or I would never touch it at all, or any aspect of it, right? And then so like I don't want to give those things up, like, and I don't like I like having input on these things and having discussions with other humans around these things within that and those dynamics. And it's like those dynamics are what allows creativity to flow, which is very important, especially when we're talking about marketing overall and those types of things. And like none of those things could be replaced by any sort of software that we're looking at within it, nor would I want it to, right? And then so I don't know, like I think you'll start to see more and more wrestling with those disconnects, but less and more people coming to these same conclusions overall. And then I think you're going to start to see this trajectory with some companies start to come out more and more, right? Record profits and stocks just continue to go down, while others will be the opposite trajectory, like no profits and continuing to rise. And that's a different story overall, but that's the pattern that we're seeing within these things, right? So it's just kind of interesting seeing these things play out. It's my perspective on this. And if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Thank you much.